You can take that crusty diaper you've been wearing off of your face and stuff it back into your pocket or put it in the garbage if you'd like. Or if you're really triggered by having choice, you can keep it on your face. This is America. I'm back. Yes, I'm pretty sure I said the same thing when I came back from maternity leave last time, but here we are again. The difference between the last time and this time, among other things, is that now we have a president who needs the same diapers as my newborn. What's sad but true is that in the short time I've been away, much in our country has changed, and mostly all for the negative. But you let me know in the comments, what has been the worst happening or event of the last, let's say, 8 weeks? Also, don't forget to subscribe and then do a happy dance because you've earned it. Now, I know there are many choices, so let's take a look at just how worse this country has become in today's What the What Maternity Leave Edition.
I'm really going to be in trouble.
There are so many what the what moments from the past 8 weeks that we could be here all day, but I'll spare you the headache guaranteed to ensue if we go too in depth. Now, let me get back in shape here, because I don't want to be outdone by a geriatric. That was 7 years ago, but apparently Joe can circle back, if you will, by running circles around his press secretary, Jen Sucky at my job.
We hear he's lifting weights. What sort of weights is he lifting? Does he have a personal trainer? And what happened to his Peloton bike? Did he bring it to the White House?
I didn't know where this was going, but I'm intrigued by it. I will say I have nothing to read out on the president's private exercise regime, but I can tell you, having traveled with him a fair amount, sometimes he's hard to keep up with.
I'm intrigued by it. No, I'm not. But this is what the media must do to distract you about Biden. That's why the Washington Post just ran the headline, weightlifting, Gatorade, birthday calls, inside Biden's day. Aw, what a good boy. And the dog, too. Side note, isn't that the dog that bites people? Thank you, Washington Post, for your hard-hitting piece of journalism right there. Now let's get to more of these past weeks, and we may as well continue with Joe, whose mental fitness is beyond parity and just, well, watch.
The vast majority of economists, left, right, and center, from Wall Street to the private economic polling initiatives.
Come again?
But some of the parts of our economy need special help. At the top of that list is our nation's restaurants. When COVID-19 pandemic struck, our nation's restaurants were some of the first hit and the worst hit. In 2020, more than 2.3 million restaurants jobs disappeared. 2.3 million restaurant jobs disappeared. Restaurants are more than a major driver of our economy. They're woven into the fabric of our communities.
I am just as confused as Joe Biden. When were these clips even from? Well, you'll get the correct answer by just guessing any day that ends in Y, because these speaking battles are happening that frequently.
And it's going to take some time. And there may be some hiccups like I just had.
There he goes again. In between losing battles with the teleprompter, Biden and his jester, Dr. Anthony Fauci, have been following the science. Or some sort of science. Okay, really, it's just a Ouija board. But there is some good news. You can take that crusty diaper you've been wearing off of your face and stuff it back into your pocket or put it in the garbage if you'd like. Or if you're really triggered by having choice, you can keep it on your face. This is America. PSA time. I did take notice of the propaganda pushing to get a vaccine and to encourage letting the entire world know about the virtue signaling.
It's really important to see all these TV anchors, personalities showing themselves getting the shot. We've seen a lot of vaccine selfies from lots of folks at lots of different networks. It's been really inspiring to see. You know, the Today Show even brought the co-hosts outside for a live group vaccination this week.
Oh, the sycophants. Facebook especially kept pushing me to change my profile picture to add a temporary frame stating that I got the vaccine. This is the point where I say, if you got the vaccine, good for you. If you didn't get the vaccine, good for you. Meanwhile, you all now know that I ate a vegetable today. But here's the thing. I won't be an a-hole to you if you decide to not eat a vegetable. You see, because eating a vegetable is for my own good. Like maybe, the purpose of the vaccine. But that doesn't mean I should shame people who do not eat their vegetables, because vegetables, like the vaccine, are for my own good, not others. Now go eat your vegetables. And let's move on to the latest account of what is Underlord Fauci thinking today? Fauci and Biden recently sat a quarter mile apart together to spread the word of how all you young, healthy people must get the vaccine.
Young children, even though when they get infected, it's unlikely that they would have a serious disease compared to an elderly person or a person who has an underlying condition, they are not exempt from getting serious illness. There's also the responsibility that you have of not being part of spreading the infection throughout the community.
This is the man who in the last 8 weeks has flip-flopped more than a beached whale, or in his case, like a piranha out of his murky water. Fauci now wants all of you to vaccinate everything, and he's puppeteered Biden to say so.
I talk about it in terms of teaching about obligation to other people. It's not just about them. It's an obligation they have to their friends and other people.
Is this still America? It technically still is, but this is the America Joe wants, or at least the America he's being told he wants. 100 days in, and America is getting back on track. The track is straight shot to hell, it really is, and you know it is because of how the Elizabeth Warren types are reacting.
Are you surprised at how progressive the policies are that are being proposed by the president?
Oh, not surprised, delighted. This is the good news. This is one of the best things. I talk about this in the book.
How many of you are delighted by what Joe Biden's administration has done? Let's recap. Inflation is skyrocketing. Gas prices are making it necessary to buy a bicycle. You can't buy a piece of lumber without giving a kidney in trade. It's going to be a dangerous summer with crime spiking as it has been for the past year. And there's more war in the Middle East with a complete "you handle it" response from Biden to the World Health Organization. And of course, there were the squad members there to essentially support Hamas because they are just that anti-Semitic. All right, I have to add a couple just plain stupid things that I noticed while I was away from y'all, and I'll just run through them very quickly. Chuck Schumer attempted to be hip without breaking his own while sitting 2 feet from a TV, supposedly watching the Oscars, and as he said, with an ice-cold plant-based beer. All beer is plant-based. Barley, hops, yeast. I better not challenge Chucky, though, because his counterpart may attack. As Nancy Pelosi said to USA Today about the Capitol rioters, she would have battled them because she's a street fighter. She should have taken those fighting skills to the street and defended American citizens just minding their business, eating some ice cream in Georgetown when the Black Lives Matter protesters interrupted.
He still has the audacity to continue eating his ice cream as we're asking for respect. We're asking for respect. A minor inconvenience to you, a large inconvenience to us. You can put your ice cream down for 5 seconds and give us respect.
And that teen was just asking for a double scoop before you so not respectfully interrupted. Nancy, defend those citizens, if for nothing other than defense of that chocolate chip ice cream. And on the note of chocolate chips, we learned what Jen Psaki can really bring to the table. And as expected, it's nothing like Sarah Huckabee Sanders, who made her own baked goods to share.
As I promised yesterday, I promised snacks. I did not bring them in here, but my mother-in-law made homemade chocolate chip cookies for you guys. So there's one for each of you in here. We will do it in a COVID-safe way.
Safety is really of no concern to Psaki, except if it fits the narrative line to ban guns.
This past weekend, there were more than a dozen mass shootings across this country. 4,000 more people shot and killed by guns in 2020 compared to the year before. Is there a crime problem in this country?
Well, I would say certainly there is a guns problem, and that's something the president would say.
Remember, Joe is the same president who says things like this.
Here's what drives the driver in the states that are affected. Here's what you can do, the drivers. Don't panic, number one.
I'd say it feels good to be back, but it doesn't. Contrary to Joe's guidance to not panic, I'll just panic, because if all of that nonsense I just showed was just 8 weeks, what will happen in the next 8 weeks? To get us through, we'll have some fun with whatever happens, because otherwise I am certain misery will set in. Until next time, stay healthy, America.